All right. Well, like I said, when I started this channel here, like my intention is to track not only my wins and what I'm doing, but also track my losers. And a lot of times, documenting the losers um, might help you in the future more than documenting the winners, because you get those winners, you start feeling really good and get overconfident in what you're doing. But I've got a couple losers to look at today. Got two of them actually. So today was a horrible day in the market. One of the things I've learned is like market direction. You're not going to beat market direction. So if the whole market's going south, then most likely, all your stuff is going to follow suit. So let's take a look at JBL here first. Now, you might have noticed, I think JBL was one of the first ones I made a video on. It's one of the ones I've held probably the longest since I've started doing the technical analysis. Before I was doing technical analysis, I had a whole different strategy I was following, and I was in and out of stocks like within a week, maybe 2 weeks, but I really wasn't holding anything very long. And even still, I think I'm probably 2 weeks is average. 3 weeks is kind of long. But this one I held started 8 August, so I was almost in this one for 2 months. And a couple of things happened during this time. First off, you probably notice, like, why does this go above this? Well, it's because if we zoom back, when I first was doing this, so when I make these charts, I reevaluate them every month. And I want to say, let's see, when we bought in August, I go back 6 months. So when I was first buying into it, I think it was right at January. So my upper line was like way up here. So that, just to kind of show you, it would have been like right there. So, I'm like, oh man, this one's great, and then of course, the longer I held it, then we started to, reevaluate it. Here was kind of the peak. So that was an issue. Another issue that I had was where I put my stops. So when I first did this one, I want to say my stop was way down here. Where was it? I think I went back. I was looking kind of at this area. It was way down here, and then at some point while I was holding it, I had the great idea. I think it was after, because see, it went all the way up, and I thought it was so close. I was like, oh, I'm going to make my money. Now, mind you, this line was still kind of up here a little bit. So I think once it crossed, I did wait, because even after it fell, it started bouncing off of this line here. As you can see, it came back up, it was falling, it was bouncing. I was still kind of holding out hope that it was going to go up here. And I think after the first time it gapped down to here, I was like, all right, let me really think about what I'm doing. And around this time, I did change, because right here, this particular one I bought in was 40% of my portfolio. I invested into this, and I changed that up. Decided that was too much. So on stocks going forward, I was in with less money. Around this time, especially the further it went down, I was like, you know what? I just want out. I want out. And I think it had to have been after this day, because I still had it. So probably around this day, I was like, you know what? Let's reevaluate where my stop is. And I'm going to use my green bars like I'd been using most recently. And I want to say I came up to probably right around here. Right around here. And that's where I put the stop. I changed up here as well. And it started running up. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, broke even was actually in the green just a little bit right there. And then, so that was the 12th. What day was the 12th? Oh, that was Monday. Yeah. Monday the 12th. And then Tuesday, gap down big time. Like, man. It was toying with this. So then I was like, okay, so I moved some lines around. I'm like, alright, so it's kind of messing with this fan line here. Again, gap down. Open, had a good strong day. I think that was that Friday, the 19th? No, 19th was Monday. Good strong day here. I was feeling good. Then these past 2 days, these 2 days, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, not great. I mean, it was trying. It was definitely trying to get up there. Then yesterday, yesterday they came out and said they were going to increase the federal interest rate by another 3/4 point. So everyone in the market reacted, and then this morning, when it opened, it gapped way down to here. And then it wasn't long, and I think I was out of this thing, like, I don't know, by the first 2 hours the market was open, if that, probably less, because it just went all the way down. And then, I mean, it did come back up a little bit, but there's that. Okay, so that's kind of like the story on what happened with JBL. Now let's go back and look. Did I buy it at the right time? So I bought it on this day. I'd say that was probably the right call. I probably got in too high, because it was let's see, pretty good, and I should have done 2-day verification after this. 1, 2, yep, bought in right. That's the right day. Maybe a little bit too high. When I bought in, my stop should have already been. I mean, I probably would have went straight to this bar. I'm thinking right now, straight to that bar. And then where does it hit? 3 green ones. I mean, I could really have done this. That's probably what I should have done, maybe. I don't think that matters that much. Either way, I wouldn't have made my money. And yeah, just got unlucky with this one. Got close, no cigar. So out 8%, on this one. All right, SLB was one that we just had on the Spotlight series a couple days ago. I felt real good about this one when I bought it. I think going back, everything was good. When I bought into it, it was it just trickled down a little bit. Again, we can look at the story here on this one, so you can see it closed here, and this morning gapped down here big time, and then I think it fell like 8% today. Yeah, 8 point. You can't see it. It went all the way down to minus 845. I think. Yeah, 845 today. So not a good day. Part of that is just news. There was news about, obviously the interest rates like we were talking about, but then there's like news about the oil sector not performing well, and Schlumberger is within that sector. So not good for this one. But no, I did feel, I was watching it. It looked like it was respecting this line. Even when it came down here, it went back up. The following day, opened low, gapped down, right? Opened and then ran up. And the next day, it opened above the line. I was like, all right, I'm in. I bought in. The following day, see, it opened, gapped up, open, so it felt good. It did go down. Then the day after that, came back up, and I was really thinking, like, okay, like, even if it's gonna ride this line, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be all right. And then of course we can't fight that market direction, and gap down big time, ran down another, I think when it opened it was like down 5%, and then ran another 3% down. So I ended up getting out. I mean, I always put conditional orders on these things, so it's automatic. If it hits here, it just sells. So I lost 7%. So it's good, 15% ish between the two today. And I had some others that aren't doing great, but we'll see what happens. Still, part of the process is staying true to the process and trusting in it and letting the trades work. So we're going to keep on keeping on, and hopefully we'll have some winners for you next week.